I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good. Welcome back to WaterparkRanger's Let's Play Prisoner of Azkaban. In the last episode, we beat Lupin's Glacius Challenge, and in this episode, we're starting things off by getting a new wizard card, or more accurately, a witch card. This one is Beatrix Bloxam, the third out of the 5 witch cards that you can obtain. I actually remember Beatrix Bloxam from the Chamber of Secrets game. She was also a card you could get in that game. She's the one who wrote the nauseatingly happy, children's books, The Toadstool Tales, that apparently, induced vomiting because they were so, sugary sweet. No doubt that's probably one of Rowling's creations. It just kind of sounds like something she'd make up. I found that, a lot of Rowling's work kind of reminds me of, some of her earlier books, particularly, like the things that happen in Sorcerer's Stone. The more bizarre elements of Rowling's imagination really recall Roald Dahl, if you've ever read his books, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, The Twits. And especially there's one, I think, called, The Lazy Crocodile or something like that. It's about this crocodile that tries to, eat children. I'm not even kidding. But it's really overblown, in a kind of weird way, where, the villain gets this crazy comeuppance. Literally, the crocodile gets thrown into the sun. And that might not sound like something that Rowling would do, because she didn't actually have Voldemort thrown into the sun. It was a bit more subtle than that. But some of the earlier elements of her books kind of make me remember Roald Dahl. So right over here, we've got another Stink Pellet Pot. We've been collecting these as we've gone along. I haven't missed a single one. I think at this point we have about, I'd guess we have around 10 of them. Perhaps more, though. And here is the Lost and Found item, the Prefect badge that I collected. I'm going to be skipping back to the common room right now, because it's on the 7th floor. You already know how to get there. You just go to the top floor from the grand staircase, and just run down the hallway till you get to the Fat Lady's portrait and enter. So after you get that first one, you can also take the second mission, a Remember All, on the stone circle in the ground. So these Lost and Found items won't appear until you take the missions, so make sure you take them. I've cut back to the entrance hall, and we're going to be heading outside for the first time. Actually, no, we're not going outside quite yet. We have potions with Snape. I almost forgot. Gotta go to our classes, unfortunately. I also have a problem with that Prefect badge from earlier. It looks too much like the challenge shields that you collect that you get house points for. There's too many cards and items that look similar in this game, just like in Thousand Year Door, how there's 5 different star pieces, shine sprites, star points, star power. They're all different things, and it's just tough to keep track of them all because they're all named very similarly. And maybe that was done almost as a joke, on purpose, because I feel like that's something Thousand Year Door would do, but it was still pretty obnoxious in my opinion. So now we've got 12 of the Stink Pellet Pots hit, and what card are we going to obtain here? We've collected Queen Maeve. That's the 4th out of the 5 witch cards. It also means we get the 5th witch card right off the bat, Gunhilda of Gorsemoor, and that increases Hermione's endurance. So the witch card set corresponds to Hermione. Go figure. I think the Quidditch card set that one corresponds to Harry, I think. I believe Beast and Classical Beast correspond to Ron. No, actually. Dragon corresponds to Ron. I'm trying to remember the other sets. Some of them actually don't correspond to characters, and they just give you house points when you complete them. What we collected right there was a Folio Bruti page. That page is the page for the Fire Seed Bush, which is actually an enemy in this game, or rather, something you can interact with, not so much an enemy. I don't even know if it can hurt you, but if you play the Sorcerer's Stone game on PC, you know what a Fire Seed Bush is.
The Wiggenweld potion will heal most common injuries. The more attentive of you will remember that the most powerful form of the potion is prepared with only the freshly stripped bark of the Wiggen tree. Mr. Weasley! While you are in my class, you will...
Hurry!
Weasley, bring him to the front, now.
First things first, let's get the 13th Stink Pellet Pot. You actually don't have to, listen to Snape or obey him at all. You will eventually if you want to leave the class, which you should. But just watch this. If you attack him a lot, something really weird happens. Just listen.
Bring Potter here, now.
Yeah, can someone explain to me why Snape was, screaming like some kind of bootleg pirate? I've always thought that was either some kind of, like, joke that the developers put in, or some really weird glitch, just because Snape didn't have, like, a response for attacking him. Also, that Folio Bruti page we just collected is the Chizpurfle. That's another enemy in the game. Very random one. So, you just have to slowly drag him to the front of the class, but you can take your time and mess around. You can mess about however you like, such as by shooting Flipendo at random students, and cauldrons, and collecting beans. This is actually one of my favorite parts of the game. When I first played it, I was really afraid that Snape was going to, like, take away house points if I didn't obey him, but just look, you can even hit Malfoy.
Go away!
Settle down, Mr. Malfoy.
Yeah, Malfoy, settle down. Anyway, so much weird stuff is going to happen in this next scene that I'm actually not going to commentate over it at all. Just listen to it.
Right, Mr. Weasley. If you pay attention, you might actually learn something. Pick up both vials of Wiggenweld potion from the table. Congratulations, Mr. Weasley. You actually managed to do it. Administer the Wiggenweld potion to yourself. Stand away from Potter. Contents of one of the vials. Step away from Potter. Drink it. Step away from Potter. Now, drink it. Settle down, Mr. Mal. Now stand close to Potter and administer the potion. Give the potion to him. Now, administer the potion. Are you a complete fool? Stand close to...
Get back, you scurvy braggarts!
Give the potion to Potter.
What happened?
I will let Mr. Weasley give you a full explanation, although his incompetence speaks for itself. Thanks to Mr. Weasley's little sideshow, we no longer have time for the rest of the lesson. So, you will now be gathering the ingredients for the antidote to uncommon poisons in your own time, ready for my next lesson. For the next class, therefore, you are to bring fire seeds, billywig stings, Chizpurfle carapaces, and the horn of a graphorn. Class dismissed.
Thanks a lot, Weasley. I'm really sorry. Don't worry. Let's go outside.
Well, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, me too. I think we should turn in.
Yes, but maybe we should start looking for those potion ingredients for Professor Snape's next potions class. What do you think, Harry? Harry?
So many cutscenes, we've barely had any time for commentary, but yeah, isn't that just, like, the most surreal class experience you've ever witnessed at Hogwarts? Oddly, like, Professor Snape's got one of the most fun classes because you could just mess around in it like that. Oh, man. And he doesn't make you go through a dungeon. I think that in the PC games, he does make you do dungeons. Though, of course, he also makes you find potion ingredients that you have to bring to his class. Though, I basically know where to find them, so it's no big deal. Anyway, now we can finally go outside. The Hogwarts grounds are way larger in this game than they were in Chamber of Secrets. They're so large, in fact, that in traversing them on foot, I'm going to be speeding the game up. So, I'm going to speed it up so that I can show you which direction to go in when you run. But yeah, I see no reason in just us walking there at normal pace, because it would take a long time. I really like that the Hogwarts grounds are bigger in this, though. Don't get me wrong. I think that's great. We're actually going to collect the Remember All Lost and Found item now, and I'm not going to commentate so you can hear what they have to say randomly.
I don't know about you, but I'm really hot in these robes.
Yeah!
Sometimes their random inane babbling amuses me. The combinations that it ends up in. So down this way, you can actually visit Hagrid, and Hagrid will tell you where you can find some of the potion ingredients for Snape's class. but I already know where to find them, so the only reason that I'm visiting Hagrid is because there's something very entertaining about him in this game. He has a larger character model than most people, and they react when they're hit with spells, and Hagrid has a particularly sensitive hitbox, so something like Glacius that you can hold down on him has a very odd effect. Of course he's going to try and tell us about fire seeds, but we really could care less. Just listen to what he has to say.
But don't let Professor Snape know I told you. Leave me alone! Leave me alone! Stop it! Leave me alone!
Yeah, Hagrid says ow like 5 times per second. It's ridiculous.
Stop it!
And now I'm going to be speeding up the video so that I can show you exactly where you need to run next. Enjoy! Now that we're all the way out here in this remote location, this treasure chest here has the 4th classical beast card, the Unicorn. As soon as we get it, we'll also have the 5th classical beast card, the Phoenix. That'll complete the classical beast set. A lot of walking in order to get it. It's pretty well hidden. Very far away. And that increases Ron's endurance. Okay, so Ron's correlated to classical beasts and dragons. I guess that makes sense, because like his brother Charlie lives in Romania, or is it cousin? I forget. Studying dragons. Yeah, he does something like that. And out here we actually have yet another... No, this isn't a wizard card. It's a Folio Bruti page. Let's see what number this one is. It's the 10th one, the Hippogriff. That means there's only 6 more to get. We have 10 out of 16. Yes, there are Hippogriffs in this game. Maybe you noticed one in the opening in the first episode. If you've never seen Prisoner of Azkaban, I can understand why you'd be surprised that there's Hippogriffs, but... yeah, otherwise it's pretty obvious. Speeding up again.
I think this is where we can get fire seeds.
This is pretty self-explanatory. We have the fire seed bush. You just hold Glacius on those 3 little fire things that are burning on the tree, and they'll fall to the ground and spawn as little items. When you pick them up, you'll have collected all the fire seeds. I'm going to be speeding up again one last time in order to show you the complete route back to Hogwarts Castle. Now that we're back here, it's probably worth mentioning that although Flipendo can be used to randomly hit people, make them say, ow, Glacius actually turns them purple. Observe.
What you talking to me for, mudblood?
You're asking for it!
Oh, my father will be furious! I think that shade of purple suits Malfoy quite nicely, though. Malfoy's always been immensely amusing in the Harry Potter games. He's kind of likable in that way. Kind of the opposite of what they intended, I know. Like, if you've ever seen him in the Sorcerer's Stone PC game, the stuff he says, "You've damaged my broomstick, Potter!" So now we're going to be doing a little bit more side questing around the castle, instead of just ending the day. As a Remember All's flashing, whenever the Remember All's flashing, we can end the day. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So we have these hidden panels back here. Ron, for some reason, can't activate the one on the left just yet. But the one on the right, he can. And it's got one of the Stink Pellet Pots hidden behind it. That's what we're doing. We're going to be hunting down some of the Stink Pellet Pots. Of course, you also need to watch out for that prefect. If he finds you, he's probably going to not take away house points, but make you go to the beginning of the room, and also make you sit through an annoying load screen. That's honestly the biggest downside of getting caught by prefects in these games. So we'll wait for him to run past. I have a feeling that the Prefect AI is a lot dumber in this game. Just generally speaking, AI for Prefects is much lower than it was in Chamber of Secrets. Although they don't have that spell that they use to catch you, all they have to do is look at you, I have a feeling that just the ones in Chamber of Secrets were so much quicker, and those spells were so much harder to avoid, because I think they kind of bent like around corners when they shot them. Prefects were just much more of a problem in that game, because most of the stuff that you have to do in this game involves those suits of armor, and they're pretty easy to, because they have the simplest pattern. You can easily step out of their vision. Unless there's a whole lot of those statues around it, it never really gets tricky at all. So I'm searching around because I want to get a couple more stink pellets, but I unfortunately had no luck, so we're just going to have to make do with the ones we have, and hope that it's enough for the stink pellets we can get in this room. We've been finding more Wiggenweld Potion now. Since Snape introduced it in his class, Wiggenweld Potion is now an item that Ron can uncover from searching shelves and whatnot. You can also get Wiggenweld Potion by just hitting things like jars. So climb up here, and there's one of the Stink Pellet Pots, and there's another one on the opposite side of the room, because it's symmetrical. The first time I played this game, these were some of the last things that I found, were the Stink Pellet Pots hidden in this classroom.
Nothing more to do. I think it's time to turn.
There we go, and let's jump off this thing. Let's see if we can do it. Ah, I hate it when they hang on. Backwards! Yes, there we go! Parkour! And now, because I'm very generous, I'm going to show you all that it takes to sneak past the Prefect on the first floor again. Chances are we're never going to have to do this again, so I might as well show you. As if it weren't completely obvious, this Prefect simply patrols walking towards you, and then in the opposite direction. He never goes behind that statue at all. So, going behind that statue gives you a place to seek cover, and then walk past him after the Prefect changes direction. Rudimentary, really. Now, just like in Chamber of Secrets, you can hit the Prefects with Flipendo, though it's much less fun because it's far less accurate. Like, Flipendo just doesn't seem to home in on things like it did in Chamber of Secrets. However, they are smart enough to generally start running in your direction when they hear it. All they have to do is look at you when you're caught. You'd be surprised sometimes how hard it is for them to properly look at you. That's why the ones in Chamber of Secrets are just so much more annoying. Not to mention the fact that they take away house points, and I've never had a Prefect in this game take away house points. Alright, I'm paying a visit to the second floor now. I generally prefer to use Harry to sneak past these Prefects, but it's not necessary. All you have to do is wait till this guy turns around and just starts staring at the wall. That's your shot to run past him. Oh, he's like looking at a painting. He's distracted by it. And he keeps just getting distracted by the same painting over and over. It's really weird. So we've got these two suits of armor. I think we can run through them right now. And in this room, we actually have this little treasure chest with some beans. I wanted to get it because we're going to need another 150 beans to get the remaining items that I want from Fred and George. And we're going to do that next episode, but this is one of the few instances in which you can actually get a lot of beans. There are a couple treasure chests throughout Hogwarts that just give you a lot of beans, and that's one of them. And fortunately, these bookshelves seem to be giving Ron a lot of stink pellets, so we'll be able to build up enough stink pellets so that we'll get the remainder of the stink pellet pots, and we won't have to buy any stink pellets from Fred and George. But that's all for this episode. We're going to continue exploring Hogwarts next episode. Until next time, mischief managed.